minutes, 2 more minutes before I get going. And I just got to pop around a couple of... right, okay. Roger, I got your email. I'll go through that in a minute. Let me just add that onto my to-do list there. And I'm just checking the feeds too, guys, because this has actually got... I put this out to everyone because I have another Rockstar group that started today, and I have 2 powerlifting groups that are going, which is why I work so much. Plus, I have like a full-time job here too. But this is kind of turning into my full-time job, actually, or half-time, I guess. Anyway, so I'm just checking all of those feeds to make sure nobody's having problems getting on, and then I'll and I've got a list of everybody's points from the challenge, so I'm going to just read that out loud because I don't think that'll offend anybody. Hopefully it doesn't. But also, too, if I missed anything or anybody feels like I haven't tallied it up right, they'll know. I guess I could just post it. Now read them. How are the points calculated? So every day that you recorded your nutrition, that was 1 point. And then every time that you did a workout, that was 1 point. And every time you went for a walk, that was 1 point. And in order to, like, a perfect score would have been 3 workouts, 3 walks, and 7 days of nutrition. But some people did more than that, and some people did a little less, but they got pretty close. So I kind of wanted to just acknowledge everyone that, you know, participated. Does that make sense?
Okay.
Okay. So, and for people that for people that I've said, you know, you don't need to do full-blown Molgenor, you can do this. I counted those workouts too, and I also counted yoga in lieu of walking and ballet in one case, which I thought was just cool because ballet is pretty neat. I couldn't do that. Okay, so how do I get back over here? Come on. Sorry, just give me 1 sec, guys. There we are. Okay. Alrighty, so yeah, so I'm just going to start off by going over the challenge points. I don't see anybody else on here. We've got Miriam, Roger, and Perdisha/Sharon. What is Perdisha, anyways? I'm sorry, I'm just curious. Your mic's muted, though. I can't hear you. Are you unmuting? Can you unmute your mic and then I'll be able...
Right,
there you go.
Yeah, I was doing. It's just the computer has a glitch today. It's an amalgamation of obviously my real name, Sharon, and a character name from my favourite book, Perdita. So I just joined them together about 10 years ago, and that's been my online name ever since.
What's Perdita from? Sorry, that rings a bell.
Train station?
Eh? Is it a train station?
No, Perdita's from the Discworld books by Terry Pratchett.
101 Dalmatians. No? Okay. Okay. All right, cool. That's a great answer. Sorry, Roger, what were you saying there, man?
I'm just a fan of the Discworld books, too, and I was trying to say something, though. I was also having mic issues.
Okay. Discworld. Discworld. What's Discworld? Oh, that sci-fi thing where the world's... Yeah. So that's what it's from, right?
Yeah, The Color of Magic and Hogfather were movies the BBC made.
Okay. Alrighty then. That has got absolutely nothing to do with health and fitness, and that's how we like to roll around here, completely random. So that's fantastic. All right, and we got Thomas on the call too. You know what? For an impromptu chat, we're doing pretty well here.
I just got back from the gym, so it works perfectly.
Beauty. So you should probably... I'm just going to send this off. Okay. So, I'm going to focus 100% on this in about 5 seconds. I'm just checking the numbers for the challenge. And I got to shrink this down so I can see the whole form. By the way, guys, if anybody is a one of those, what are they called? Disrupt, fuse, and coalesce. If anyone's a startupper out there and is looking for the next great software idea, and you really want, come up with something better than Google Forms, for the love of all that is holy, please, because it is anything over 40 characters, and it becomes so intractable to read. It's just so painful. So I've been playing around with client management software or contact management software or whatever, and trying to find one that will allow me to organize everybody into some system so that I can see their nutrition consistently without having to try to scroll through. Anyways, so any tech types out there that are looking to disrupt and challenge the current ecosystem of Office software, have at that problem, please. And 2, anybody that knows any good CMS software for managing, until Google buys it and then destroys it. But anybody that has any advice on that, as far as freelancer or customer-oriented professional type customer management software, that would be lovely, because I'm trying all the ones that are totally cool for big businesses, and of course they suck. So I've already tried Salesforce. I've already tried the other version of Salesforce. Anyways, I've tried about 5 of them, and they're all garbage. So Asana seems to be working okay, and we might actually integrate that into how we manage clients. But Oakley dokley. So onward and upward. Oh yeah, Thomas, how you doing? Anyways, how's the nutrition going, buddy?
It's going okay. I'm following the plan, and I had one of those somewhat frustrating mornings where I stepped on a scale, but then I looked at myself in the mirror and I was like, there are muscles there that weren't there before. I'm not going to worry about it.
Right. Okay, good. And yeah, we've been getting a lot of really positive.
My comment in chat's for content managing softwares. I literally just did an entire graduate set on this crap, so that's why I'm like, this is interesting and weird.
On
content management softwares and servers.
Okay, yeah. Yeah, but
anyway.
I'm not looking for content management. I'm looking for contact management. That's the other CMS. But I kind of am looking for that too. Anyways, yeah, maybe we'll do a little chat later on that. Let's put a pin in that, because I could go down the rabbit hole on that pretty hardcore. Because I'm a tech geek that knows just enough to be dangerous. Now, so yeah, I mean, and this is something I've had at least 10, if not closer to 15 people come back and have positive feedback. They're making progress, and in a number of cases, what's really gratifying for me, and if anybody else out there has got a similar experience, please share it. But what's really gratifying is that people are saying things like, I've been doing this for 10 years, and I never expected this, and now I'm getting this. And so I did post something a couple days ago about that, but just kind of trying to explain to people that if you do things the right way, it's amazing how fast things will change. And whether it's just general fitness improvement, or whether it's approaching an injury and trying to deal with that and work around that. Some injuries are harder than others to deal with. But it really is shocking to me how quickly you'll start to see changes, and especially if you've opened up your mind, or you're open to the idea that you're not going to see changes in the scale first. You're going to see other kinds of changes first, and those are going to lead to the scale. So the scale is kind of a bad thing to check on a daily basis, because it's kind of going to put you in a bad mood most of the time. However, on a weekly or bi-weekly basis, there should be some nice changes. But overall, if you look good in the mirror, they don't have a lot of scales at the singles bars. It's like what you look like, right? So They're not. Nobody's weighing anybody in. It's all about how you actually look aesthetically. Well, that's not all it's about. But anyways, that's a little bit too deep for today. Okay, so without any further ado, with only 11 minutes of ado, not more ado than we can handle, I'm going to get into the challenge winners. Okay, well, I'm not announcing the winner yet because I have to go randomize this and pick one. But I just want to go through everybody that participated and give them a shout out. So the first one, I got Alley Cat here. And she got, oh, yeah, let me back up and explain again how the points are tabulated. So 1 workout equals 1 point, 1 walk equals 1 point, and 1 day of entering nutrition equals 1 point. It was too tricky for me to try to figure out if you entered the nutrition on the day of or not, so I dropped that. And for people that did more, I went ahead and instead of just being like yes or no, you completed the challenge, it was, is there a cat there? Oh, that's she was putting a sweater on. Okay. Sorry, I thought I saw a cat for a second. I was like, my dog's not here today. Okay, so I'm just going to go down the list, and anybody that got over 5 points, I'm giving a shout-out to. So we got Alley Cat here with 7 points. Nicely done. Whoops. Did I add that up right? Oh, my goodness. Sorry, guys. 1 second. I didn't add up the nutrition and the workout points, so I got to do a little equals 1 cell plus 1 cell equals P. Yeah, I'm literally doing Excel on a Google chat. That's definitely a first. Please work. Okay, yeah. Hold on. We'll be just a little technical difficulty, but we'll have it. Okay, there we go. So Alley Cat, 12 points. Hoynyar, or Arthur, who works for Google, so we're going to have words at some point there, Arthur. 13 points, because I do like a lot of your products, but some of them confuse the dickens out of me. So 13 points, not bad, Arthur. Britt, 19 points. Holy cow. Christine, 5 points. Not bad. Diane, 11 points, considering you live your life on a 747. Seems to be pretty good. Evil Auntie Peril, who I still am meaning to find out what the heck that name means. 13 points. Zoggy, 15 points. Parallel Dreams, 13 points. Hashtag value, which means I didn't type in the right number. Oh, yeah. Sorry. Miriam Cotton, you got 13 points as well. Rage, 13 points. Perdicia, 18 points. Ooh. Quinn, 18 points. Rock On Christina, 12 points. Roger, 12 points. Pumpkin Pie, 10 points. And Thomas, the PayPal, 5 points. So, great job to everybody. Honorable, I don't know, what do you say? Good job for everybody that got over 15. That's kind of incredible. And Brittany, I don't know how you pulled off 19. Nice job. Okay, so that was the challenge. Do I have any? Oh, right, I got cold. Okay. Anybody want any comments on the challenge or any observations? Anything that we could do differently this week? I'm gonna sit down and come up with a new challenge in about half an hour, but I'd be interested to hear what everybody has to say. Or does anybody have to say anything? No? Nothing?
It was good to go for a walk because I had seriously stressful week at work, so it was I was like I have to leave. I have to go for a walk. It's important for my challenge.
Okay, good.
To leave the building, which is good.
I like to have an element of lowering cortisol in any sort of challenge that I issue clients. So there's always this tendency of they have this perception that it should be like, oh, I guess I'm cutting my head off there. That exercise is all about blowing your brains out, and not blowing your brains out literally, jeez. But really pushing yourself hard. And instead, there's a local moksha. I think they serve lattes and they do yoga or something. I don't know what they do, but that one of their messages they're always trying to send out is congratulations for taking time to come in here and give yourself a reward or something. And I think that's an important idea, is the idea that your body requires maintenance, and it requires care, and you require some time off. And to go for a walk is something that's kind of fun to do, and you're not doing it for a paycheck, and you're not doing it to make a significant other happy, and you're not doing it, out of some civic duty. You're just doing it for yourself. And so that's why any activity that sounded like self-serving-ish, like going and doing yoga or stretching or anything like that, I rolled into that as well. So definitely that. Now let me just check the comments on the side. Got my butt moving. Good. Yes, that was the intent. The intent this week, I think, is we're going to start working into sustainment. We're going to start building habits that are going to, continue. I was trying to think of a really fancy word to echo through the years. I don't know. Anyways, we're going to start trying to build sustainable habits. So we've made some changes now. Everyone's really doing a great job of being consistent, exercising. I mean, yeah, we've had some people fall off. That's the nature of training. People join things that they don't really mean to put the effort into, and they filter out. But for the most part, people that are participating in the process, people that are writing the nutrition down, or they're trying to follow their nutrition, and they're following the workouts, and they're tracking these things, and they're participating on the feed, and any or all of the above are starting to see really good results. Now we want to work on ensuring that those things continue. So I haven't quite figured out, but there's going to be some homework, and it's probably going to involve another Google form, God help me. And unless I can figure out a better way if maybe there's another kind of form out there. Yeah, you know what, I'm going to go look for that. But it'll be some form of you sitting down and coming up with a plan and saying, you know what, kind of maybe where do I see myself in a month? Where do I see myself in 3 months? Where do I see myself in a year? Or something like that. Survey Monkey. Yeah. Thank you. See, look at you guys. You're so resourceful. So that's kind of the concept, or fluid survey. I don't even never heard of that one. Okay, well, all right. Fluid survey. Yeah. So it'll probably be something like that. I'm going to bounce it off my social worker and see what she thinks, and we'll come up with something for a challenge for this week. Okie dokie. Training-wise, we've got. I do need to put 2 new workouts in the rotation for this week. We're just doing the same workouts we did last week, but I have to introduce new ones for next week, and I'm going to do them ahead of time because there'll probably be a lot of questions. So I'll probably have those posted tomorrow. Today is actually a holiday here in Canada, but I don't like holidays, so I'm just working anyways. But it's Canadian Thanksgiving. We have a different Thanksgiving. Yeah. Our Christmas is the same, though. Just FYI.
I was born on Canadian Thanksgiving, and everything was closed, and my parents had to walk to the hospital.
That is really? Were you born in Canada?
I was born in Montreal.
Oh, right on. That's like the best city in Canada.
Whoa, whoa now.
It is totally the best city in Canada. No? I don't know. What do you think, Victoria or Vancouver?
I'm a Vancouver girl because I'm from Vancouver, but I would definitely not vote Montreal.
Oh, fuck.
I pick Ottawa over Montreal.
You cannot get a good smoked meat sandwich in Vancouver.
Not my issue. I don't eat meat.
Maybe a good kale smoothie, but... no, I don't know. I've always actually really loved Victoria, too. That's probably one of my favorite places. But
you can go retire there with all the old people.
Yeah, you should see Fredericton. It's like God's waiting room. So the challenge is done. Workout's done. Anybody have any questions on nutrition? You don't get Thanksgiving. What are you talking about?
Where are you, Sharon?
Oh, wait, you're not. Yeah, because that Thanksgiving was all about leaving the United Kingdom. Right. Yeah. So, sorry.
Or surviving being out of the United Kingdom, depending.
Oh, my goodness. I'm so politically clueless, I don't even know the landmines I'm stomping on right now. So yeah, but you must get some sort of holiday soon that involves turkey or something like that, don't you?
Christmas?
Okay.
We have Christmas in...
And you have Labor Day too, right?
What's that?
I think you guys are just used to working for a living. You know what? I might need to move to the UK. Okay. Does anybody have any questions on nutrition or anything they want to hear me speak somewhat coherently about for a couple minutes? Otherwise, I'll just be forced to make something up, and nobody wants that. No. Hips. How about injuries? No? Nothing? Everything's going well?
My shoulder hurt since yesterday.
Shoulder hurts?
I don't know whether it was the workout I did or whether I just slept funny though.
Yeah. Okay, well, which workout did you do? Fortius?
Yes.
So the next workout that's coming up, it's called... Oh, Oblivion. Yeah. Yeah, this is a fun one. It's actually named after a Winter Sleep tune. But that's got nothing to do with what you just asked me, though. Sorry. So what part of your shoulder is it that's bothering you?
Mostly the muscle across the top, but yeah, and into where the rotator cuff is as well.
Okay. So
So
do you mean
up my neck, down my shoulder, and into here at the front.
Okay, and does it hurt when you try to raise your arm overhead, or does it hurt when you try to move your arm to the front?
All of those.
Does it hurt? Does it hurt when you're not moving as well?
Yep. It's just an ache. It's not a stabby pain or anything. It's an ache all the time.
Okay. You're gonna have to send me an email, and we'll kind of drill into that a little bit, because I'm not sure. Initially, I would just recommend that you just ice, but you do your basic, rest, ice, compression, and elevation. You can't elevate a shoulder, but just give it a day of rest. I can't imagine how you do that. Yeah, I would just give it a day of rest first, and then maybe we can assess it tomorrow and see. It might just go away. It might just be from sleeping on it funny. And okay, Britt, were you gonna say something too? Miss 19.
Yeah, I say my hips. Okay, it gets sore a little. I did deadlifts with 40 pounds yesterday, and it was okay. It was a little bit sore the next, like in the afternoon. But I'm also doing all sorts of other crap, like renovating my basement and hanging drywall. So I don't really know, but it isn't. Like if I stretch it with that navicular bone drop thing, it seems to be okay. It's not anything that's like pain that hurts to walk or move. It's just sort of aching still.
Did you Did you look at the Donnie Thompson stuff though? The issue was you didn't have the band, or you didn't know.
I don't have bands like that, and I don't have anywhere to attach a band like that either.
Yeah, but the first one is actually the band doesn't need to attach anywhere. The other thing is.
If you send me a link of where to find bands like that, I'll buy them. I don't mind, but I've never seen any that thick.
Yeah, I'm just thinking because you live in Calgary now, though, not Victoria or Vancouver, right?
Yeah.
Because there is a place in Vancouver that you can just go buy them, but there's also a place you can order them online for delivery in Canada, and they'll be there within like 3 days. And it's like $12 for a band. They're not expensive, maybe 20. And it's kind of worth it, considering that like this is probably like to have your hip replaced would be considerably more than $12. Not that that's going to happen. So the one thing I was going to say, this is the thing I was meaning to tell her something. This is good. I get to go on a rant about this. Okay, they're not a rant,
okay.
but one of the so there's this. Okay, so there's resistance training and there's aerobic training, or aerobic training will be training where we do for a long duration and it's at a low intensity. But in the middle there's anaerobic training, and this is something that a lot of people don't do, and it's fabulous. Fabulous. But it is. It's really fabulous. I know the jazzy hands today. And there's a few reasons. So the first thing I want to talk about is sled dragging. And this is a little bit of a tough sell because it's hard to set up, but it's also really beneficial. So one of the first things that, now, just to give you a little background, how I kind of got into strength training as a profession was I was doing a master's at Queen's, and I was working out with the football team because I was trying to play varsity football at the age of 30 after 10 years in the Army. Yeah, so I didn't start very often, but I did get on the team, which was impressive considering how old I was and broken. And one of the things that the guys really liked about me was I was incredibly strong compared to just about everybody. I'm a pretty strong guy now, and I was even stronger then because I was younger. So I'm not just telling you guys this to brag, really. I'm just telling you this so that you know how I got into quitting my master's without well, anyways, I didn't finish that one. And then I finished another one online that isn't really worth the paper it's printed on. But anyways, the point being that I was trying to play football, and I ended up basically giving up because it was brutal, and I was trying to get through a master's as well. And I ended up working with all these football players, showing them how to work out. And a lot of them were very beaten up because we had this really antiquated strength and conditioning coach telling them to run like 10Ks, and these guys were 300 pounds. And so that was his version of summertime conditioning, was running the piss out of these huge football players and then wondering why their hips and backs were completely demolished. So the first thing that I got these guys doing was dragging sleds. And we literally, I had like 5 or 6 different hip or ankle or knee injuries that were preventing guys from playing. And within less than a week, we had some of these guys back on the field playing again. And this wasn't just my observation. This is what I observed from going down to the States and working with Westside Barbell, working with some of the best guys in the country about learning how they do strength and conditioning. And they were adamant that dragging a sled is probably the #1 thing you can do to improve running injuries, sprinting injuries, contact sport injuries. It's just a really generic, easy way to work the muscles of the hip, the knee, and the ankle without the compression. And the reason why is that when you're pulling a sled, usually you're pulling 30 or 40% of your own body weight, sometimes even 50 or 60% of your body weight. But if you can think about it, when you're running, every step you're compressing your joints. So when you land on the ground, you compress your ankle a little bit, you compress your foot a little bit, your arch, you compress the bones of your knee closer together, you compress your femur up into your pelvis more. Okay? And so these things are okay. This is how humans are supposed to work. However, excessive amounts of this can cause problems. They can cause all sorts of itises, arthritises, tendinitises, bursitis, lots of problems. And so if we could find a way to strengthen all the muscles that support the hip and the knee and the ankle without compressing, well, then we might be able to get more blood flow in with less compression being applied and then see things healing faster. And this is exactly what a sled does. Another good thing is walking in a pool is kind of beneficial for the same reason. But the sled is really good because it gets the butt to activate really well. It gets the hamstring to work really well. And there's no compression. So it's my #1 thing that I like to talk about once I've gotten people kind of on the iron bug and they're kind of like, oh, I like this stuff. This is making me better and healthier. I'm like, okay, well, then you should try this too. So now everyone's going, okay, well, that's lovely, but how do I drag a sled? And sorry, Roger, you have something? No? Okay. So, but one of the quickest ways is if anybody's got like tires, you can literally grab a tire for, I don't know, I think you can probably get them for free too. And you literally just punch a hole through a tire and pull a rope through it, and there's your sled. And that was literally what we had a few of the football players do. Like, this is 10 years ago or 12 years ago. But 10 years ago. Anyways, my point being, it's really not that complicated. I used to drag heavy chains. I look like the ghost of Christmas Past, but I used to drag heavy chains. And this was 365 in Canada, so we had snow, we had inclement weather conditions, and I still dragged 3 or 4 times a week just to keep my body going. So I'll probably
I do have tires sitting in my backyard, and I looked into it when you mentioned it before. And I was Googling how to create a sled. But my tires are on old steely rims, so I don't know, like...
Extra badass. No, you might want to maybe
just, like, tie something to the rim and drag it that way, or do I have to take the tire off the rim? Because that's going to be more of a pain in the ass for me than anything
I would
else.
usually if you go to, like, because there's a lot of, so they're always trying to get rid of tires, right? Because they're a pain in the butt to get rid of, and I don't know. So I've always had luck with just going and asking for tires at places where you get rid of tires. Like, I haven't done it in a while because we have metal sleds here, so I can just double check and find a way, and I'll put up a quick little article about it. How's that sound? Just like a how-to that I know will work.
And then what do I attach to it?
Just a rope, and then you just tie the rope in a, like, I usually just do a full loop. So okay. I'll grab like 20 feet of rope, and I'll just and don't tie it around the tire, because then after about a day and a half it'll rip because the rope will be rubbing on the ground. Yeah. So you have to get a hole put through the tire, which I usually do with just a big drill. Maybe the other thing sometimes we do is we just put a little chain around the tire, and then we and a carabiner, and then we loop the rope through that so the chain doesn't get worn down.
Okay.
But let me find an article. Hey?
How far from my body to the tire there is? Does it, like, how long is that piece of? Does it matter?
No. Well, it's better if it's like more than 4 or 5 feet long, because otherwise you end up lifting up the tire, and then it's just compressing you as well. So you want it so the tire is sitting flat and it's not popping up and down. And it should be like, 20 or 30 pounds is plenty. If you want to get really crazy, you can find a big tire and slide a 45-pound plate into it, but then you're getting kind of carried away. Yeah, so that's tires. That's sled dragging. Some gyms will actually have sleds, and like ours has 3, but not every gym's set up properly. Okay, and I don't know if I've got anything else that you guys wanted to cover, and if not, and nobody's having any huge problems. Okay, so article on tires. Check out this different survey things. CMS, yeah. And, the other thing is, too, I finally, moment of realization, I knew I could do this, but I never thought. For the macros now, I set it up so I get an email every time somebody sends me a updated one, so just extra emails from moi. But it's the tough part with that macro sheet is it's out of sight, it's out of mind, so I've tried to set reminders to remind me to do it, but I just keep forgetting, and then I'll go and do it every 3 days, which is still pretty good, but I don't know. Anyway, long story short, I'll probably get back to you faster on your macro submissions. It was never really intended as a means for me to check in on you. It was more just something you're supposed to do, but I feel like when people put comments in there, I kind of want to be responsive. So, all right. Let me just check the sideline here, see if I didn't miss anything. Yeah, that's true. Okay. Alrighty, well, I guess we'll shut her down there, and hope everybody's having a wonderful Canadian Thanksgiving. And, yeah. All right. Take care, guys.
Happy Thanksgiving.
Thanks.
Bye.